What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about my thoughts on Affliction, and I also want to talk about next league and what is my plans for next league all around. Let's start off with Affliction. Was honestly a really interesting league. I will honestly say that majority of the uniques was not worth anything unless they were like high rolls. In reality, the uniques really wasn't worth anything. Everything went down. Even headhunters went down to 50 divines. Mage bloods went down to like 100, I think. Squires were like a divine to 2 divines or something like that. Everything was quite low in price. All around, honestly, this league was a lot of fun in terms of playing with people. Maybe a little too easy on the loot part. When it comes down to stuff like mirrors, headhunters, mage blood, they dropped way too much this league, and that needs to be toned down big time. When it comes down to like high-end uniques, that stuff should be chase items, and chase items shouldn't be 50 divine. It shouldn't be 100 divine. They should honestly be 300 plus. But it is actually really nice that a lot of people was able to play with the mage blood, play with the headhunter. But in reality, in PoE, things like that don't drop that often like that. Like, let's be real here. Stuff like that don't drop that often. So let's get back to reality and let's back to that grind. I will definitely say that a lot of people grinded this league because of everything dropping so much, but in reality, goals was met way too quickly. The interesting part about this league is essences. Essences is really expensive, and you can make a ton of money off of them. And I think it's mainly because of the bow builds, trying to do like contempt essences. You got like the loathing with the RMR for a bunch of builds. But besides that, you pretty much just had wisp count maps, T7 cemeteries, burial chambers, jungle valley. My thoughts on this league was extremely fun, but a little too rewarding in terms of high-end uniques. Everything else, in my opinion, besides mirrors, was fine. I feel like everything else was fine. Divines, I'm so happy the way Divines was. We got to test out so many builds, which is amazing. Other than that, I really felt like this league was actually really solid. Now, next league, content-wise, for the league mechanic, I do expect them to come out with something a little bit less rewarding, really move towards a direction that's not Magic Find next league, but that's the way I'm looking at it. And I also see it becoming more of a static loot drop versus a actual drop, or it can be in a completely different zone outside of maps. I do think next league is gonna be something that's out of maps, something that's completely separate, something that's like Coda or something like Heist, logbooks. I expect it to be something completely separate from maps, less rewarding than this league all around. I feel like next league will be profitable, but it won't be this profitable. I do feel we will get some changes on the Atlas, and I'm hoping that we actually get clusters on the Atlas. Although a lot of people may be like, what clusters? But imagine like you could expand the Atlas tree more with cluster jewels. That would be so amazing for me, and I would absolutely love if they did that, just to be able to theorycraft and expand out more on the Maven's Atlas and really put a lot more rewarding stuff on it. I feel as if next league is going to be something where people actually hate it or actually love it. There's plenty of ways to make currency in a league. So you got your essences, you got the league mechanic, whatever the league mechanic is going to be. You got Sanctum. Sanctum is a massive moneymaker, divine printer. You can go and delve. You can do just regular Crimson Temple farming. My plan for next league is I'm going to try to make something completely different from what I usually do. Most likely what I'm planning on doing, if things set out in the way that I wanted to set out, I may do a 0 to hero Magic Find next league. I may just start off with it. I need something that's like very, very, very long term, unless the league mechanic will make it long term. That would be extremely amazing. I think that is pretty much it. You gotta stay positive for next league. Next league is going to be, in my opinion, it will be solid, but it will be a hit and miss. That's the conclusion. It will be a hit and miss. Some people will like it, some people will hate it. But in reality, if you look at it from a positive side, and you look at what I just said of like looking at other ways to make currency, like expedition essences and stuff, then you will be totally fine. Build wise, though, if you look at the positive of build wise, if we get destroyed build wise, there will always be a meta. There will always be new builds. There will always be a bunch of skills that will be viable. So even if they do nerf stuff, don't worry, we still got more stuff in the end. Other than that, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video.